What's up, guys? Hey, how we doing? How about the Wick or Southwick? What a race. Jet, still perfect, and it doesn't look like anyone's even close to him. Hunter had another bad day. Wow, this championship in the 250s just got really exciting. I think Scoop Tires got to go, but we'll get into all that. First, I want to thank Complete Med Solutions. You guys know Coach Rob. They do blood work, and they will get you dialed into your optimum performance, whether you're an athlete or just a regular person. In fact, I ought to probably get it done because I've been dragging a little bit lately. I don't know if it's a summer heat or what, and then we've got Strapped. You guys know Ride Strapped. Ride Strapped or Strapped goggles. Let's go, Brandon. Amazing goggle company. Hit them up. Use Cooksy at checkout and get free shipping. EpicGarageDesigns. You know Epic Garage. Epic is awesome. They got the coolest stuff for your garage. Also, window coverings, blind shades if you're in the Las Vegas, Nevada area or somewhat close. We'll get you set up with some window coverings. And then JS7, some of the coolest products you'll ever see. Just check out their website. They are taking cool to a new level. So let's get into this thing, guys.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So my big takeaway from Southwick is, one, Jet is perfect, and two, Scoop Tires have got to go. A lot of you guys have heard my theory about knob size and how knobby tires and how they're getting so much power to the ground is hurting the tracks and ripping them up, but it's also preventing close racing. When you get two guys who are equally matched, you can't stay on a guy's rear wheel without just getting completely blasted. And those Scoop tires actually pull the dirt up and almost leave it like hanging in the air for the guy behind to hit. It's gnarly. It's time to switch that. I don't think it's going to change the competition at all as far as what the product we see on the track. These guys will figure out how to deal with less knobs. As long as everybody's on the same playing field, it will not be an advantage or disadvantage to anyone. But the Scoop tires, time to go. Tire technology has gone past what makes for good racing. Great job, Dunlop, but hey, time to lower the knob size, limit the heights, and get rid of Scoop tires. I think they hurt racing. Now, in the 250 class, holy crap, great job. Finally, we saw the Frenchman, Tom Vial, the two-time world champion, finally show what he's capable of. Tom Vial is one of the most technical riders when it comes to this track. This track is very European. He spent a lot of time in Belgium growing up, so he's familiar with sand, hard pack. He was doing some stuff on the track that I'm sure my buddy Johnny Hopper will break it down, how Tom is really good at not riding the main line. He rides the main line, but he's just a couple inches off of it. He uses the sides of ruts to actually avoid bumps. It's amazing. It's really cool to watch, and it's nice to see Tom Vial on a bike. Let's be honest, we've been hearing a lot of stuff about KTM, Husqvarna, and you know, the gas is being underpowered, yet he wins at a track that puts power at a premium. That's just pure technique. He rode his ass off. It was really good. Nice to see Joe Schmoda. We saw Joe sighting, Smoking Joe out there. He got the second moto win. Justin Cooper pushed him hard, and guess what? This championship's wide open, guys. This is one of the most fun championships that we're going to have in a long time. The next two races are really key. They go from here to Millville, which is kind of another back east style track. And then they do something totally different, which is Washougal, where it's kind of a hard-packed, steep hills in the forest. One of the most scenic tracks you'll ever see. But if Hunter can't save, or he has to stay in it these next two rounds. If he has another huge malfunction, it's going to make the final three runs. So what they do these two rounds, then they take a break for 3 rounds. And they take 1 week off, and then they got a 3-round race to the finish. And Hunter needs to stay within striking distance, getting into the week off, because if he doesn't, it could be bad. And if you think he wasn't hurting, I mean, just listen to his team manager, Lars, who I'm going to give Lars credit.
Well, what's going through my head is that he's a tough son of a bitch. And
I love modern day team managers who aren't trying to hide everything. And he just described Hunter as a tough SOB on national television, and Wygant actually had to apologize for his language. No apology needed, Lars. We love authenticity. That was authentic. That was what you felt, and keep doing it. I love it. That's good for storylines, and that's a big thing I'm going to talk about his storylines, and how we got to, yes, the way that Outdoor Nationals does their motocross and they sell it in the package is amazing, and it was much better than World Supercross. But I'm going to do a separate video about that, because a lot of you guys say, just stick to racing. Well, guess what? You guys don't watch my next video if you don't want to see that. But I'm going to break down a lot of the broadcast and what happened there. Poor Hunter, man. When your bike breaks after you've put in 30 minutes, usually if the bike breaks on the first couple laps, great, you're fresh, you come out for the second moto, but that's the worst case scenario, to have it break in the very end. So now, not only do you work your ass off, you get no points, and you're tired for the second moto, but he fought his ass off and he's right in it. But there's 7 guys with a legit title shot on this thing, including RJ Hampshire, Levi Kitchen, Joe Schmoda, Justin Cooper. These guys, every single one of these guys is legitimately alive in this title fight. Whoever goes on a run or gets hot right now, you need a couple rounds in a row. This title is wide open. We might even see Hayden Deegan, rookie sensation, win it. Even though he had his worst race of the year, he still got the red plate. It was pretty cool. That just shows you how competitive this track is. It was funny after the race when Wygant's like, normally we hand the red plate over because the guys are on the podium, because to get the red plate, you have to be on the podium. But not for Hayden Deegan. That's just how crazy and competitive this series is. There's so many guys that can win races. And RJ Hampshire, listen, Tom Vial made a genius decision in that second moto to go with roll-offs. Nobody likes roll-offs. These guys all have this weird thing where they don't want to give up vision, or the sides of the roll-offs bother them. Guess what? It's a lot worse when you have to chuck your goggles. RJ chucked his goggles in that second moto when it started raining and all that dirt stuck to him. If I'm RJ, I make RJ wear roll-offs every single time, because there's, without a doubt, he's going to be on somebody's back wheel, pushing really hard, getting roosted in the face. RJ, just try and run roll-offs. You'll be a lot better off. I think if he had roll-offs, he probably would have got Tom Vial, and Tom wouldn't have got the overall. It would have gone to Justin Cooper. It changes racing. But that's that European, that's Tom Vial understanding the situation and doing what needed to be done. So this is awesome, guys. Oh, and I want to give a shout out. They listed Aaron Tanti on the broadcast. Aaron Tanti was not there, the Australian rider. It was Joseph Tate, number 962. They had him listed as number 262, which is Aaron Tanti, who wasn't even there. But I want to give Joseph Tate credit. You make the Fast 40 at Southwick, you deserve to have your name come across the screen. So I'm giving you some credit right now, Joseph. Great job. Now let's get into the 450s. I want to start the 450s by acknowledging Cooper Webb. Cooper Webb was not out there. I don't believe he even got the second injury that they're supposedly talking about. I think that's just a cover-up. There's a lot more to this story. And I'm going to do a complete video breaking this down and chronicling the entire thing and how this went bad. I'll tell you what, it really exposes a lot of things. But I'll get into that in a video later this week about how it exposes some things about the industry and about some of the backstabbing and the promoters and teams. And it gets really deep. But Jet, man, Jet is just, he's making this thing boring. And when I say boring, there's nothing to talk about. He's just cruising. It was crazy hearing James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael, two of the best who've ever done this, just calling him a generational talent and being blown away by the things he can do. What I told you guys a couple weeks ago was Jet has this skill where he rides just what he needs to. And, you know, when I grew up racing, they told us never ever to do that. Ride your hardest, always give your effort, because as soon as you back off, that's when you make a mistake or crash, which is still true for a lot of people. And that's why it makes what Jet is doing so amazing. He's able to just lower and raise his levels and manage races like nobody I've ever seen. Maybe there's somebody throughout the past who's done it. I haven't seen them. And I don't think James and Ricky did either. And it was kind of fun. It was kind of such a boring race. It turned into like a James and Ricky and Wygant podcast.
I don't believe that Jet is a thinker. You and I have had this conversation off there. I think everything is second nature to him, and I think it's an attribute to why he is who he is.
And I feel like with Jet, you know, I actually do think he's a thinker. I think he's not an overthinker. I don't think
It really blew those guys away. And the funniest thing I heard all day, and it made my day, was hearing James Stewart telling Chase Sexton, tuck the front end, son, tuck the front end.
You better tuck that front end, son. I ain't lying with you. You better do something.
Now you're telling him to tuck the front.
You better do something.
I'm sorry, that's funny. But it's not as bad as it looks for Chase. Yes, he got smoked. Southwick's not his track. Where Chase is really going to give Jet a run is Washougal. Chase is really, really good at Washougal. That's not Jet's best track. And I just, coming off mono, coming off an injury, coming off what Chase has been through, I didn't expect him to win a moto at Southwick. Can he? Yeah, but he clearly looks like a guy who's not at 100%. And Jet is just, to beat him, you need to have your very best day, and he needs to have his worst day. That's crazy to say about a guy of Chase Sexton who literally took this sport to like an entire new level with Eli Tomac last year, just battling. For Jet to make him look silly just shows you the level of Jet right now. That 450 and his technique and the way he rides is amazing. And I love just his complete authenticity. Jumping up on the podium after the second moto with no shirt. That's a throwback. You want to talk about nostalgia. That's what all the guys did back in the 80s, is like shirt off and just, it's a fun sport. We don't have to take it so seriously. And seeing Jet up there, not just being a corporate man, it's refreshing. It really, really is. I dug it, and it was cool. He's not going to, you think Dylan and Chase want to let Jet go perfect as a rookie? No. They're going to, at some point, they're going to get a start. Jet's going to get a bad start, and they are going to make a run, and they are going to empty the tank for one moto, just trying to make sure they're the one that stops him. Both of them, they're both champions. Chase is the reigning Supercross champion. Dylan is a former 450 outdoor champion who's getting more and more comfortable. To see the privateers up there battling is awesome. I love my boy Marchbanks. Yes, I know I'm partial to Marchbanks. I like him. He's one of my buddies. Marchbanks got 5th. But 5 guys had 27 points. I can't ever remember that happening. To go 10-5 for 5th overall, that's good luck. Unfortunately, Ty Masterpool went 5-10 for 10th overall. Poor guy. That he's had some weird results where his moto finishes were higher than his overall. But hey, nothing away from Masterpool. He is riding his ass off. He has given these factory guys. Dylan has got to be having nightmares about Ty Masterpool. Every first moto, Masterpool is just battling him and just ruining his races and ruining his day and forcing Dylan to use a lot of energy that he would prefer to use trying to catch Jet, but he has to use it to deal with Masterpool. It's fun. It's fun to watch. It's great for these guys. But anyway, guys, that's it. What a great race. I'm going to do another video today. I'm dropping 2 videos because a lot of you guys complain and you say you don't want to just know about racing and you want to know some of the stuff on how I feel about the overall sport, and you tell me stick to motocross. Well, just watch this video if that's the case. My next video is going to be about the broadcast, about the sport, and yes, I'm going to trash Ricky a little bit. It's fun. He makes it too easy, guys. Ricky is way too easy of a target, but don't think I'm saying it in the sense of it's not easy to be an announcer for 4 hours. It really isn't, and you're bound to say some silly stuff. With that said, Ricky takes it to a whole new level. So, all right, guys, check out that video, and I will catch you later.